as we are moving into our path, we know that we have a lot of misunderstandings about spirituality. And perhaps we think that just being on a path alone, we should just instantly wake up and feel blissful. Maybe we feel that being on a path means we get a special pass from God to not suffer. And we become shocked when life throws us a kind of a sideways monkey wrench. So first, let's look at some of the differences. We know that somebody could reject us. We know that we could get fired from a job or have our mate break up with us, or we could have somebody say something mean or insult us in some way. And all of those things may trigger emotional pain in us. And on a path, we are given tools and divine love and support so that we can actually go through those things and move beyond them back into our center so that we can strongly keep creating the life that we want and the path that we want. But we also know that there are times in our lives and on our path where we might hit up against something. Let's say that somebody breaks up with us and we create all of the practices, we do all the things that we know we can do to feel better, and yet the pain is persistent and unrelenting. At that point, we kind of know that if we're stuck in a system of pain, that can begin to feel like we're suffering. Almost like our consciousness is being grabbed and held in a certain experience that we cannot get ourselves out of. So, what I want to start out saying is get really clear what the difference is between experiencing emotional pain and suffering. And then start to get clear what is suffering that I am meant to go through on my path, and what is the suffering that life has brought me that maybe I just can't get out of. And what is suffering that can be erased, that can be moved? So let's look at some of these things. We know that the first approach that we want to have towards any emotional pain that we're carrying or experiencing leading into any suffering is stopping and being mindful and trying to assess what is important in the moment and what do you need in the moment. Certainly, there are a lot of teachings out there right now that are telling us that if we're feeling emotional pain, it's extremely important to address it and respond to it and be with it, and any number of things almost that's telling us to engage in it. And yet, at some point, there are things that if you engage in it, it actually increases it in a negative way. So, how can we learn what those things are? If I'm experiencing something where, let's say, I'm walking down the street and somebody says something not nice to me or criticizes me in some way, and I feel heartbroken and hurt that this person was mean, I know by the time that I get home that I don't want to dwell in a well of negativity. So I am going to apply working with the observer as well as bringing in practices of release of emotional pain, as well as trying to orient myself on my path and ask myself, is this something that is ego related? Is it a true pain? Is this pain related to something in my childhood? Is releasing it going in the right direction, or do I need to delve into it a little bit more? So there's that part, and then opening my heart and just really allowing love to immerse inside of me and flush this out and see where I land.